do is pray.
You son of a bitch! Because you think you're special because you're a police officer? Now I'm late to my interview? That's all I'm doing! I stand by justice! Where? What is the big deal? What is the big deal?
It's further down. Oh wow, that's at QT. It's somewhat down at QT. Gotta block off QT.
You don't know that. It's closing out. Horrible Washington. It's probably actually good trouble for this. No, I'll put out my separate.
See, that stop sign's hard to find again. You can see the warning sign. I still think they need lights on it. Yeah, they cleared it all out, all the brush right there. Used to not could see that stop sign barely. Burton Hill.
All I wanted in my life. And then he's like, well, look at that big blue ball. What is that big blue ball?
Oh, that's a water tower.
That's a water tower. Wow, that's a water tower? That's huge. What if an airplane was to hit it and all the water like goes on the highway? Holy moly, smoky monkey.
Yeah, it is close to the highway. That's a good point.
I know, then it would fall on the electrical. Wow.
Well, yeah.
Some people go up there and jump off. Man, that shit's huge.
It's a big water tower.
Hi, you're gonna be out of business soon. I have to go to Albertsons, get a sandwich. No, I already missed it. They sometimes have sandwiches for lunch. I don't know where I'm eating now. A little healthier option. That thing is huge. But one thing I don't like is how they put those packets on the sandwich. I should.
8, 10. Please select your payment method.
We got a new Fort Worth Public Library. Right here in White Settlement. Yeah, it's actually a library.
It's Fort Worth.
Right next to CC's.
Joiner T.
So Jack N Box opened in San Diego in 1951, but there were hints of Jack N Box in the late 40s when it was called Oscars. And they had a box that you could talk into, and it had a little Jack in Box on the top. It had a little Jack, a little clown, and they were the ones that developed the drive-through box to talk into. Little talk-in box. And that's why it became Jack in a Box. They were also the first to revolution Munchie Meals at night. And now, for the new holiday, they have the $5 all-day meal deal. It comes with an entree and 2 sides and a drink. So welcome to Jack in a Box. And I'm gonna go in and get a $5 meal deal. So they did go through a time where they tried to do like fancy food and they called it JBX. And they also called it Monterey Jacks too. Here's one of the first ones, 1951. They had the first breakfast sandwich and the first salad to go. It's right here. They call it a portable salad. Do I get an option to do for a side for curly?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Can I do curly fries and then times 2?
Oh, you want it full?
Well, what are my other options for sides?
Hash brown, 5 tiny tacos, and chicken nuggets. 12 pieces.
Okay, let's do the tiny tacos.
Okay.
The tiny tacos
and the french fries.
and the curly. Yeah.
Then what else?
No, it's just a $1 $5 bill. Yeah.
That's it?
Yeah. This. Adam Beckham. And curly fries are good too. Ketchup's good.
No.
That church right there is where Kirk Cameron came to talk. Just recently.
I can't remember where she worked at.
All right, 63 degrees Fahrenheit, 8,669 miles on the odometer. It is Thursday, January 16th, 2025. Welcome to the Please Subscribe show. So one thing for research for the next chapter, which would be chapter 51, the recovering of Shep Dwight East, which is actually Archie Rector. So it'd be the bringing up of Archie Rector, because they got to get him from the avalanche. And the dog has already dug a hole to him, but another avalanche is about to hit. So they have to get it like a coiled tube. It's basically like it's where Jonah gets a tube from the moonshine that's like extra tubing that was used to manufacture moonshine, probably being done by Mr. Blackburn. He lowers the tube down into the hole before the next avalanche can get him, and then they start pumping air down to him. So the next avalanche falls and they have to dig even deeper, like a total of about 70 feet, which is like 7 floors. They have 100 foot of tubing that can be pumped from it. There's the butterfly from a little car. Well, they have one of those things that they use. It's like a pump in the car. It's like an electric pump for tires and stuff. You know what it's called anyway. They use the electric pump to pump the air down the hole with the tubing so that you can breathe. But that gets covered, and the only way they can find him is with the coiled tubing that's 100 feet. They can follow that back down. And since there's air being pumped down there, then he can use that to breathe. So it'll be fine, but it'll be pretty cold, but he has thermal on. So they get to him in time, and then they're able to resurrect him and get him in thermal blankets and things like that in the base camp. And that's when they find out he's Archie Rector. Well, he's actually not Archie Rector. He's Shep Dwight East. And he's there on administrative leave, pretty much escaping a false crime that's against him. Well, anyway, eventually he goes to the dining room thing, because Archie Rector didn't have a record. And goes to the Fairbanks Diner, and that's where he meets Lady Shelby. And that'll be a different scene. That's the one I've been kind of stewing for a while. All right, we're off to delivery. All right, 0.9. We'll arrive at 5:41. It'll take 4 minutes. And yesterday we did 30.90. All right, 1.2, 7 minutes. We will arrive at 7:10 p.m. This one's dedicated to David Lynch. Fire Walk With Me. Today or yesterday, David Lynch was found dead in his daughter's room. He was displaced because of the wildfires in LA. And he went to his daughter's. He had emphysema for quite a bit of time. And maybe he didn't have everything he needed. So that, he's no longer, he died at 78. I met him during Inland Empire. He came through Dallas, and my first wife had tickets to the USA Film Festival, Inland Empire, because her friend worked for a radio station that couldn't make it. So we got to watch Inland Empire. A little electric guitar player came out and played before Inland Empire. And then, I believe after the movie, he came out and made a speech. And then we got to ask questions. And my question was, how many times did he improv? How many times has he ever used, I guess you could say, stuff that wasn't in the script? And he said everything is scripted. And then I found out later Inland Empire wasn't scripted, but it may have been. It may have been a loose script or something, but he was saying that he didn't do a lot of improv. Everything was kind of planned, is what he was saying. In his work, he liked to plan things for quite a bit. Every little thing was planned, which is kind of interesting because Inland Empire, which was a 2006 picture, one of his last major features, seems to be improv. So it's a mystery. I won't know. Only he would know. At least the editors talk about it. The editors would know. But I think I could see that all the other movies, and Blue Velvet made my top 11. I think it's number 6 spot of all-time best films. And it's right there with Bergman and a bunch of other stuff. Even Fellini's on the top 11. And Lynch is there, but he's no longer around. So I always thought I might get to meet him again or talk to him again or maybe get to work with him or intern with him or something, But I've been thinking about him a lot, and he's part of the show. He's part of the PSS, Please Subscribe show, because we do a thing, or I do a thing. It's very different than how Lynch of course, did his own YouTube for a couple of years, about 2 years and a half, his own channel, his own vlog. And he stopped doing it after a while, but I noticed everything was very fixed. It was always the same type of close-up, filmed in the same area. It did progress, though. It did change. You can follow it almost like a silent movie, or you can follow it just by moving the YouTube. And it's almost like a cartoon. All his expressions that were probably captured by Google. YouTube probably captured all of those thumbnails, which is genius. It really is genius. But it's cut between two different YouTube vlogs. One of them is the weather report, which you can see the close-up, the thumbnail. In most cases, there's always a close-up. And then it can be analyzed. And then in between is today's number is. And so we did a thing where we do today's kitty is, only it's within the vlog. It's not a separate thing. Which I thought that took a lot of concentration. It took a lot of discipline to do that. Going back to David Lynch, I'm a big fan of Straight Story, which I think there was, I don't know, I heard a rumor there was Disney was behind that or something. But it is a straight story. It is something that you could watch with the Disney crowd. It's about a brother an old brother, played by John Forsyth, who goes and meets his other brother, and I believe it was played by Harry Dean Stanton. And it's told from the point of view of the older brother, and he gets on a lawnmower, like a John Deere tractor, and he has it's kind of like a wagon that he pulls for supplies and things. Because they take his license away because of his eyesight. So he's able to take the tractor, and his daughter, or I believe it's the daughter, is played by Sissy Spacek. One of the great performances that we have of our century is that performance, which is very underrated. I don't know if she was nominated for that one, but it's probably one of the greatest performances. It really is. It's Sissy Spacek in Straight Story. It's an incredible performance. So is Forsyth too, he was kind of a stunt actor. And he goes across all this area. I don't know where it's set and stuff. It's like all these back roads. And it's amazingly told. The story is brilliantly told. And also, of course, Blue Velvet, and then, of course, Eraserhead, which I have that song. I got that song off Apple. And the whole story behind Eraserhead could make a great movie, which I would like. If I ever got the green light on that, I would be like, well, I would love to do this. I'd have a passion to do this, because the story of them making that movie is very mysterious. Now there's some vlogs. There's some vlogs. There's some video, there's some documentation of him talking about what they were. There's some mystery behind it, like almost some supernatural kind of stuff. Just some weird stuff that went on with one of the drivers, that was driving him around, and just very borderline occult. Even though I don't think he fits exactly perfectly into what we think of the occult. But he did write about demons and stuff. And this is a very strange thing, because the FBI is involved in the storytelling aspect of Twin Peaks and the demonology. There's books been written about it and stuff. And this one demon that he wrote about, I believe it was called Joni, some kind of Jody, some kind of name, some kind of weird name that he came up with, or maybe got it. But it brings about an aspect of cataloging demonology, whether it brings it back into if we're in the Dark Ages or if we're in the Age of Light. What age we're actually in is questioned because of maybe David Lynch, his amazing thought amazing voice in modern society today, and also in filmmaking too. He's changed, I guess you could say, the way that we think about things, and even move the camera, you know. Another thing, going back to David Lynch, is I don't really remember him talking about transcendental meditation at Inland Empire. He might have, I don't remember, but I do remember there's tons of stuff on YouTube about it. But I think originally, when I heard about transcendental meditation, I heard about it through Henry David Thoreau, which is a writer that wrote about On the Pond or something, Walden's Pond, yeah. And but yeah, he was a big fan. He had a whole teaching thing about it. You know, he would go around to seminars talking about transcendental meditation. But he's a big fan of that, as well as filmmaking and of course painting, which we have tons of his paintings. All right, next one, 2.0, 9:13. We will arrive in about 8 minutes. All right. Another night delivery. Head back to see Linda and Kitty. No Heineken here. All right, everybody. Looks like Eraserhead's playing on YouTube under YouTube Movies. Lynch would be proud. All right. It's not Heineken. It's Pabst Blue Ribbon. Always. Here we go. We're going to shake through the green light. Get a shaky green light. Here we go. Sorry, guys, on that YouTube, you can find Eraserhead, but you can watch it with Max, or you got to buy or rent it. But you can watch the trailer, which opens with the cuckoo clock. He just cut the chicken. All right. Here we go with today's kitty. There's one kitty, 9 lives. Each life has numbers. Numbers 1 through 9. Oh, the cat food. Pick a cat food. Today's kitty will be having gravy, lovers, salmon. Here we go with today's pizza. 2 slices of pizza, ham, just like that. Just put it in there like that. There we go with today's pizza. Enjoy, kitty. Enjoy. Y'all have a good night.